Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing Nuke.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Now, the reports have been coming out. It looks like the news broke that Canelo Alvarez signed a multi-fight deal with DAZN, which is great fucking news. You get his fights for a fraction of the cost. These are huge pay-per-views that are almost $100, and you're getting them for $10 a month. You're getting the first month free. You're getting a great fucking deal. And so you're getting a lot of hate right now that I'm hearing on social media and through all these fake boxing channels talking shit about Canelo Alvarez and the DAZN deal, how it's bad, how it's dumb, and how Canelo Alvarez will use this deal to deduct Jermall Charlo. And let me just be 100% clear, honest, and real and give you nothing but straight facts. Canelo Alvarez is not fucking Jermall Charlo. Who the fuck is Jermall Charlo? Jermall Charlo is no one in Canelo's world in regards to being ducked. Let's just be 100% honest and clear. Now, if you don't realize, and this is what a lot of fake media and fanboys out there are saying, is Jermall Charlo is not even Canelo's mandatory. Jermall Charlo is Gennady Golovkin's mandatory to face Canelo Alvarez. Let's just clear that shit up right away. So it's impossible for Canelo to duck someone who's not even his fucking mandatory. But all that aside, let's just dig right into it. So Canelo Alvarez fought the biggest, baddest, and strongest puncher at 160 pounds. Why in the fuck would he need to duck an unproven Jermall Charlo, whose best name on his record is an Austin Trout, who he could not stop, who made him go the distance the full 12 rounds? We already know that Canelo has a rock solid chin. He's been in there with Gennady Golovkin. He's taken and absorbed punches, and he stood in the pocket going toe to toe with Gennady Golovkin. And there's no fucking way that he's fearing a Jermall Charlo. I'm sorry, he's just not. He's not ducking Jermall Charlo. This is not a duck move. This is a best business and career move. You can bet your ass Canelo Alvarez is getting a shit ton of guaranteed money. You can also bet your ass that Canelo Alvarez is going to be able to reach people in countries that he was never able to reach. Instead of being North America's greatest star, he could be a star throughout the world. So if you look at it like this, why in the fuck would Canelo Alvarez need to duck a Jermall Charlo? Canelo's clearly the A side, which means that regardless of whenever they fight, whatever platform Canelo's on, Jermall Charlo's going to have to follow Canelo. He has no say, and he has to take what he's given. Jermall Charlo has fought no one to feel like that Canelo needs to duck him. Canelo Alvarez is the biggest star in North America. He is probably the best boxer, at least right now, at 160 pounds, considering the loss with Triple G. So why would Saul Canelo Alvarez need to go out and duck an unproven fighter who had to go 12 rounds with an Austin Trout, not in his prime Austin Trout, an Austin Trout that was already on the decline? That Austin Trout, not the very best Austin Trout, the Austin Trout that's already dipped. That Austin Trout. Even the very best Austin Trout was never an elite fighter, never an A-level fighter, and he still could not stop him. So let's just be honest. And yes, we all know styles make fights. And so if you thought that Austin Trout's slick style gave any problems to Jermall Charlo, imagine what Canelo Alvarez's style will give to Jermall Charlo. That is going to cause him all kinds of problem in hell. You have to look at it like this. A lot of these people that are coming out and saying these things that, oh, Jermall Charlo's being ducked, he's going to DAZN to duck Jermall Charlo. First of all, these are all fanboys. They're not speaking any kind of facts. They're just speaking their feelings because they're afraid that that fight won't happen. I'll put it like this. Canelo Alvarez will fight Jermall Charlo eventually at some point. It's plainly obvious. He fought Triple G after everybody saying that he would never fight him. Not only did he fight him once, he fought him twice. And then the second fight, he's fought and stood toe-to-toe with him. Why in the fuck would he fear a Jermall Charlo? What has Jermall Charlo done? Jermall Charlo is a hype job at this point. Jermall Charlo needs to step up in competition. We don't even know if Jermall Charlo can take those hits because he's never been in the ring with someone that can fucking hurt him. Period. Let's just stop the bullshit in the games. Jermall Charlo is not an elite level fighter, and he's no one to be feared. He's a fucking prospect. That's right, he's a fucking prospect. Jermall Charlo is a fucking prospect. He has done nothing to prove that he's somebody to be feared, a top guy at 160 pounds. And really, if you want to rank the top guys at 160 pounds, you have to start looking at a guy like Daniel Jacobs, who's went 12 rounds with Gennady Golovkin before Canelo Alvarez even did it. And he stood in the pocket, and some people thought he won that fight against Gennady Golovkin. Now, you also got to look at it like this. This is the same Daniel Jacobs that called out Jermall Charlo, that came and confronted him face to face, and he had no reason to want to take that fight. He basically came out and stated that, oh, I'm not in a rush to make the Danny Jacobs fight. Of course you're not, because you know if you lose to Danny Jacobs, that fucks up your big payday. Stop listening to these biased boxing channels and stop listening to these fanboys. They're misleading you. Canelo Alvarez has no reason to duck a Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo is unproven, untested, and has never been in there with a top-level opponent. He has never proven that he's able to compete at this level. In my opinion, Saul Canelo Alvarez completely outboxes Jermall Charlo at this point, and maybe even stops him late in the fight. Unless we see anything or any step-up fight from Jermall Charlo, there's no reason to believe that anything would be different. Once again, it's the IBFP. Please share, like, and you must absolutely subscribe.